Hey, what's up, big
And we are live. Good morning, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gentleman of Crypto, episode 1288. Today is Monday, February 3rd, 2025, and I'm King, here to bridge the gap between community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m.-ish. And today's top stories, there's only a few of them. Of course, we'll be talking about the price of Bitcoin itself, RW, or at least the liquidations of the prices of Bitcoin lately. RWAs rise to $17 billion all-time high as Bitcoin falls below 100K. Oh my goodness, my North Carolina action just came on that one. Grayscale launches Dogecoin investment fund and 21 shares files with SEC for spot Polkadot ETF. As it says in the title, it is all about altcoins, that and much more. But first, of course, let's go ahead and take a good look at these prices. And hey, Bitcoin is still alive and well. The prices are still looking good. We had a little retracement. There we go. BK Crypto talking about a Black Friday sale. Everything is good. But what's crazy is how this market works. The market sentiments and the market psychology, which we'll be talking about in a moment. You see that fear and greed index, what I'm alluding to. But Bitcoin essentially has already bounced back. It's just hit just in front of us. Went from 95 to $96,673. It did just say it was down 3.4%. Is now saying it's down 2.3%. I mean, literally, it happened within seconds. This is the market. Ethereum, $2,617, down 14.9% again. When Bitcoin dips, you see the strong projects, you see the real projects, you see the struggling projects. I mean, you see the truth. What does it say? A rising tide raises all ships. Well, it's the same with the opposite, right? If that tide goes away, you get to see the king with the no pants on or something. Like that is the Ethereum. Like, how do you go to be about market cap? Will put you almost at 4,000 USD, which we knew was going to happen because they've been jacking themselves up. But how do you almost get there and then you fall well below sub 3,000? Because oh man, so much to be said about that. Number 4, XRP Ripple, $2.39, down 15% as well. Solana, $199, 6.10%. BNB, $576, 11%. Listen, if you've ever taken any classes with me, offline, Discord, consultings, anything, that you know what I'm about to say. We have been over this so many times. People look at the 24-hour chart and then look at the 7-day chart. Now, granted, let me finish these prices. Dogecoin, 25 cents, 12.68% dip. And Cardano, number 10 at 71 cents, 17% dip. Goodness gracious. But one thing I've said, I'll go back to, is this is the time to trade. When it's volatile, if you're interested in trading, these are the moments where you're about to make the lot of your money in portfolio in a small instance. I won't go to a whole deep dive again. We've gone over this in classes. You've seen the courses. But I mean, look at some of these opportunities. Cardano, 71 cent, down 17% on the day, 22% on the week, 7-day chart. The only way this keeps dipping right now is if Bitcoin really goes through max pain liquidations here the next week, which is possible. I'll be talking about in a second with all the trade war possibility and all that stuff going on between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico in the short term here at home. Like those are some of the things that, yes, could cause Bitcoin to dip further. And if that were to happen, you see other altcoins dip. But at the same time, people are arguing, hey, this is going to be the thing that causes Bitcoin to become stronger. Regardless, 17% dips on some of these top 10 tokens, 15% or whatever. Like you're already seeing them reverse out and go the opposite direction right now. So, as someone mentioned, this is a Black Friday sale for everyone who claimed they were scared, they're on the sideline, they missed it. This is your moment to make some USD to buy some more Bitcoin. Now, the fear and greed index also reflects this. This is crazy to me. The fear and greed index is as low as it's been, I would say, in almost a year, really, like in the last 12 months at 39. A 39. There's no reason for the fear and greed. Like, this is what's crazy. They're looking at the traditional markets. They're looking at, I don't know, maybe the trade thing that's going on. Is like, it doesn't matter when it comes to Bitcoin and even the overall crypto market. One Bitcoin is one Bitcoin, and every cryptocurrency has their own method of tokenomics and way of doing things. But the traditional market, and especially the American market, should not be reflected in the price. However, it is, and that doesn't say is anything wrong with the markets. It does say that the US dollar is very volatile because one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin, but it says something is wrong with the people in those markets, right? Like this is a direct reflection of the people of those markets or perhaps the bots of the markets as well, because a lot of these trade liquidations and shifts are happening because of algorithmic trading and bots or big old institutional wealth advisors and things like that, right? So looking at Bitcoin dominance again, whenever it dips, it becomes even stronger. 60.87 Ethereum dominance is dipped to a 10.04%. I'm telling you all again, as I've been saying these last few weeks, do not be surprised if and when the next 6 to 8 months Ethereum becomes overtaken. Well, I won't say overtaken, but its market dominance will continue to slip until eventually it becomes overtaken or just the same as some other altcoins, because there's no reason for it to pump back up. There's no reason for that dominance to go back to an 11 or 12%. I know it probably will, but there's no reason for it to do that when the gas fees are high, the contracts aren't contracting, and now you really have competition with a lot of capital coming from behind. So we'll see what happens. But again, Bitcoin specific, just looking at that price today, already back at 97,000. You see here $96,848. Yesterday I believe we got down to what, like $91,500 or whatever. So nothing too crazy. Again, this is to be expected. I would say, recently we've been having 5 to 10% dips. So I would say 5 to 8%. That's really based off of the movement of some of those ETFs and things of the sort. But realistically, we used to have 10%, 15% Bitcoin swings on weekly. So this isn't scaring me going from 105, 108 to 91 or whatever. That isn't scary. Again, I'm buckled up for a 70K or 60K event, or 60, excuse me, a 60% dip event. So you're not scaring me at 90K or some liquidations and people are just the rumblings. This is the stuff to keep the market exciting. But again, nothing has changed in terms of Bitcoin value. The only thing that happened different this weekend, outside the trade talks, was Kendrick Lamar and all of Hollywood singing "Not Like Us" in A minor at the Grammys. Okay, that was like just crazy amazing. This Super Bowl is coming up next. Oh my goodness! If y'all like old boy, y'all better get the last little listening out of him. Listen, the only chance he has is to drop a banger at the first quarter. Old boy needs to drop a banger. That's the only chance Canada have. If not, we're not doing maple syrup this year. We're not doing slow songs and rapping in the same sentence. No, 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 not like us. We're not doing it. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar for winning. Shout out to the Warriors in the chat. Laura Smith, BK Crypto. Who else we got? Hyben 17, Satoshi Slim, Vanessa W, Wisdom Bars, 5150 Gamer, T Will, Line Man for Hire. Oh, I like that. Chloe Dior, Jerome Jones, Chai Keezy, JB, Saber Sapes. Let's get Max Payne. I'm here for it as well. Let's see. Technically, isn't this the king of that should make Bitcoin go up? You know what? No, not. I would say yes and no. I get what you're saying. Not until the pain is actually felt. Right now is just speculation. There's a lot of speculative. Even the articles today were a lot of speculative articles about crypto. Is why I was like really sifting through them. But the overall, I think, consensus is speculative, because that's what people are talking about, the trade war. It maybe is going to hurt your pockets. Maybe it won't. Maybe there'll be problems. Maybe it won't. Right? Like, so I think we're in this speculative environment. And yes, that in of itself should make Bitcoin go up. But because there's so many people looking, remember that Bitcoin ETFs are not about Bitcoin, the Bitcoin network or the Bitcoin blockchain. Capitalized B is not about technology, permissionless technology, is not about frictionless technology, no barriers to entry. Like, it's not about tech, right? Bitcoin ETFs are about money. It's about the dollar line. It's about the bottom line dollar. Like, they want their money and they want it now. It's not about everyone can be their own bank and all be glorious. They don't care about that. So when we're talking about these speculative environments and all this madness and stuff that's going in, none of this is like they want it to actually help Bitcoin. If it does, cool, they'll make the dollars off it. But that's not like the point of it. So for sure, I think there's like there's other things that can make it go up, and it wouldn't be the speculative environment. It would be actual events, right? So an actual event would be something. I don't know what is something we need from Mexico, like we as an essential product, and all of a sudden, say it was oil or gas, and overnight they say yes, this is going to triple. The cost of the barrel would triple. Then all of a sudden, I think you would see that reflected in the price of Bitcoin. But just a speculation of it, I think we're right where we need to be. 10% speculative environment. You got a couple venture capital companies getting slapped around who didn't know what they were doing, right? A few $100 more million getting lost all at one time than what we normally would, but not enough to shake. Enough to shake this market. We should have woke up to $84,000 Bitcoin, which, by the way, still would not have been bad, right? Like when you really say that out loud, $84,000 Bitcoin for the next 2 or 3 years, that's not bad. It's showing the value, the store value of Bitcoin still. If Bitcoin was say 84,000 next 3 years, that is not bad. That would be brilliant. That would be great. Mass adoption would seem to be slower, but we still be right on track as far as one Bitcoin being one Bitcoin and the blockchain still working. So no one says anything about gold still being gold hundreds of years later, right? If you were to dig up some gold right now, you find you a nice, beautiful 24 karat gold nugget in all its perfection. You wouldn't be like, oh, well, like 30 years went by, 100 years went by, like gold is whatever. Like, no, it still has its value. So again, Bitcoin's in the same boat, even if it stays at 84,000. That is incredible to just sit there the next 3 or 4 years as mining continues in the sort. So that is what I think about that. Continuing along those lines, we're going to talk about RWAs really quick. Of course, real world assets. Looks like these are the rise or already have risen to an all-time $17 billion all-time high. As Bitcoin, of course, says here, it falls below 100K as I'm trying to zoom in. There we go. RWAs may emerge as a key crypto investment narrative in 2025, industry watchers told Cointelegraph. The reason why I want to cover this is because I saw this headline and what was it, sub headline, I can't even think of the name right now. The basically the sub writing underneath where RWAs may emerge as a key crypto investment narrative in 2025. I thought it was a cool article to cover because I do want to call it out and see it every year, for sure. Every year and a half now, maybe we are getting new fads in crypto or new things where we stick to. Again, going back in time, 2016 was cross atomic swaps, believe it or not. Hilarious. Oh, you can trade from one altcoin to another. Like you all missed that. There was so much energy in that because that was from like that was a tech thing that was just so big. But 2017 was ICO, so not really a tech thing, but more of a community-driven thing. Including, I could add technology to that too. So you had ICOs. 2018 technically you had STOs, which nobody wanted, but you had them. What do we have 2019? On top of my head, I would say maybe DeFi. Is that when that really hit? 2019 DeFi, 2020. You start getting to lending. 2021, you start talking NFTs. 22, we start talking memes. 23, we start talking. Was that ETFs last year or 23? I think ETFs was 24. So it was 23. You get what I'm saying though? Every year and a half, we have our themes and new places this market is growing to or going to, whether by design or whatever, right? It's just changing. So I do know last year everybody was talking about real world assets. I did say, hey, I wasn't going to really start covering these publicly until it blew up a little bit more because again, I'm not going to be forcing tech down your throat, right? If people just want the money, they want the money. But it looks like this might be the time. So it's definitely the time to cover it because it is being called out as possibly being the new thing of 2025. So I don't know. Will we be coming back to this episode at the end of the year saying RWA and people were calling that out? Here we are, like we're in a full RWA market and RWA world. Again, that's real world assets. Would that be the market and the way it looks here in the next 3 to 4 or 5 months? Or will we come in December and be like, nope, it was XYZ again, or it was ETPs, or what might be possible, I still think might happen, which we're going to be covering. It might be the altcoinization, right? The altcoinization of the market. You're talking altcoin ETPs, altcoin ETFs, altcoin this, altcoin that, altcoin reserves, right? That, or should we just say, call it for what it is, the crap coins, right? The shit coins, all right? That may be the theme of this year, I think, because that is the next big play to derivative this market out and make a ton of money. But as far as being in the market, they're saying RWA tokenization, which refers to financial and other tangible assets minted on the immutable blockchain ledger, increasing investor accessibility and trading opportunities of these assets. Now, we actually covered a part of this about a week ago. Y'all know I love to do that. When we were talking about, I forgot which bank or what company it was, but essentially they said, hey, they want to put everything as a tokenable asset, right? They said they want to, and that's something we've said from the beginning. Anything that can be tokenized will be tokenized. So that's not like a new concept in the market. If you've been around, you know that. Again, everything that can be tokenized will be tokenized when it's all said and done because we're moving to more of a digital world. Even last week, I forgot, but it was a banking institution kind of leading toward this that, hey, we want to put everything on the blockchain. So like literally everything. That is real world asset tokenization. If you remember when I was covering that last week, I also mentioned, hey, I think it's too early. I think it will still be a lot of pushback. just the education side of it. Like, even if you wanted to tokenize everything right now, there's only like maybe 500 to 1,000 people in the United States who could sit behind a computer, sit with the actual asset writers or whatever, and tokenize it the proper way. Like, the level of education we need to get to in training to allow us to do it efficiently at mass scale is not happening at any time soon. So I think this is one of those good ideas. It's very speculative. Not saying it can't make money. It already has at $17 billion, which means some things are not only being tokenized, but the promotion of it, the marketing of it, the speculative side of it is starting to work as well when it comes to market cap. But and that may be enough to pump the price, right? Because this market is a lot of speculation when you talk altcoins. So maybe the speculative environment is enough to pump the price, but will it be enough to make it the 2025 fad? I just don't think we're there yet. I don't. Next year, possibly. This year, I think everything that's like they're trying to turn tokens into real world assets right now, right? They're trying to say, hey, Bitcoin is now an ETF, right? We're changing that. We're going to pay you out in cash, what they consider a real world asset. They're trying to do that with altcoins. Ripple's trying to become a part of the Bitcoin reserve, right? Like, they're trying to change themselves into real world assets and real world power looking from a crypto perspective. So I think that's the fad of this year, is taking crypto and bringing it to the real world through an ETP, an ETF, a derivative, a future, anything they could create to make that derivative is what I think is going to happen this year. But I do think this is on the horizon, possibly next year or the year after that. Once the education, I can't talk education, once the education and training levels catch up, then I think you'll see us or everyone in the market say, okay, real world assets are the new thing. And this is the money making thing of this year until the government smacks it down. We go on to the next thing. Alex G, what up? No, Alex, I think the market's maturing to the point where we'll see more startups bootstrapping on the blockchain. I can see that as well. If you're building a project that people actually want to use, never been a better time to be involved. I will agree with that. Legit startups, right? I haven't heard anyone shout out the the six in a minute. Yeah, I heard that the six movement in a minute either. That's hilarious. What's going on, crazy BX Don nerd up? Jake Beaver said gold has no value. Nobody spends gold. Yes and no. I would say no, only because like overseas for sure gold still has value. Like Dubai gold has value. And then I would say, man, listen, in the streets, gold still have value. Like, period, man. Jewels and gold and all that stuff. Like, no, it's definitely still a market for it. It's a real reason why people wear a lot of chains sometimes. They can sell them and all that good. I mean, I just sold gold. Like, the exchange rate from the gold from Dubai. I just sold Dubai jewelry here in America, not to make like a profit on, but because I was done with it. I don't know how them rules work, but in general, it's like, no, that's a real market. So I will say gold is still there. It's still like, especially in LA, man, they go crazy out here. They are gold crazy. That's the wild, wild west. I don't know. All right, Grayscale. I mean, I'm not mad at them because I'm going in this direction as well. I'm gonna say this. I'm not mad at Grayscale because I'm going into this direction. And I need to get it as the I'm gonna get it as a soundbite, but they say you can't stop the rain, okay? You can't stop the rain. And I'm saying this to say I understand Grayscale. Okay, they've been Bitcoin at forever, everything. Then they did some Ethereum. Like, I understand them, but damn, like, have we reached the local top? And is the dream of this technology, the frictionless technology, just a what was it called when you are like just I don't know on cloud nine? Is this something that won't happen? This is a very interesting story I saw today. Grayscale launches Dogecoin investment fund. Never thought I see this. And the reason why is because I personally think it is super irresponsible. It's super irresponsible to have any type of investment fund or investment arm or anything like that seriously looking at some of the altcoins or many of the altcoins out there that have even promoted themselves as being like the founder even said, yo, this is a joke. The founder said it, okay? This isn't me. So this is one of those things where I do think is like super financially responsible on one end because it's like when the bubble pops, it won't be because the market was bad or the crypto was this or that, or like the bubble will pop because humans got greedy. Like we should not have a Dogecoin. And the reason why, let me be clear, it's not even a Dogecoin diss, it's because it opens the door to everything now. It opens the door for every financial institution, big or small. I mean, at this point, to keep it real, here's the next play. You want to talk about the next fad? The next fad is to either through the community or through your friends or whatever, to crowdfund to get enough money to get a banking or remittance license here in the United States and then launch an altcoin fund. I'm talking about what? Like that won't cost you nothing at all when you look at the big scheme of things. Here you go for the free people out there, for some free consultancy for my venture capital folks who watch me. You go out there right now, you get your remittance license, your banking license, whatever you need to launch an investment arm or investment vehicle, right? And then you just pick any shit coin out there that's halfway decent with a community that's less than a penny, and you ride that wave. Well, that'll give you let's say $300,000 for the licenses, and you ride that wave out for 2 to 3 years until you get that uh freaking XYZ dog what if investment fund. People will jump into it. What? You can ride 300K and two licenses and a shit coin worth less than a penny to $200 million within 6 months in this market. That's being real. Like that is very possible if things like this start to become the norm, which again, it will, because they got one. Why stop now, right? Why stop now? Oh man, they didn't let Dogecoin in the dough. The meme coin fund adds to Grayscale's growing suite of single asset crypto products. Grayscale Investments has launched an investment fund for Dogecoin, the most popular meme coin by market cap, the asset manager said on January 31st. And shout out to Grayscale also for leading the way, right? I will shout them out as well. Grayscale Dogecoin Trust offers investors exposure to the native coin of the Dogecoin network on an open source peer-to-peer digital currency originally derived from Litecoin, which is self-originated from Bitcoin. Grayscale said the trust is only available to institutional investors. It is hilarious how they actually explain it too, because all facts, technically all facts, but it's also like the part of stuff you're not saying about it was like, hey, and great, and Dogecoin is being controlled by, 60% of Dogecoin is controlled by 15 people, right? You didn't add like that in there. You also didn't add like there's so much Dogecoin out there. If it actually were to reach its market cap valuation, if people want to be $5 or whatever else, then that probably means milk in America will cost $25 at the same time. It will cost you all your Dogecoin to buy milk and eggs at the same time. These are things that's not included in that paragraph, which I think should be included as well. Dogecoin operates on a proof of work block. And here's the thing, especially when you're talking about an investment. True, the goal of an investment is to make money, but how, right? When you look at traditional markets and the traditional investments, right? Investing where there's NVIDIA, they're actually making chips and shipping them. You talk about McDonald's, burgers, or real estate, right? Home Depot, tools. My point is these places and these people, even Bitcoin is being made by electricity. It costs energy, it costs time, it costs resources, and now you have a product at the end. Though, albeit it's digital, you still have an actual product at the end. Dogecoin, okay? What's the investment? Like literally, what is the investment? What is the end goal? What is the halfway goal? What happens? Like, is there mass adoption? Because again, if we have mass adoption of Dogecoin, we're looking at $25 milk. Like that's being real. So it just doesn't make sense to me when you're talking about it as an investment. But hey, I am here for the crypto. I'm here for the meme coin mania, baby. So pump it up. Call, hold on. Hold on. My fault. I'm about to mess up the whole. Let me know the mic went out. Pamp it. Okay, we pamping this thing right now. They get to talking about Dogecoin and more. Dogecoin has matured into a potentially powerful tool for promoting financial accessibility. Oh man, y'all should be shame, shame, shame. But listen, this was even crazy about all this. And this is what we've said for years. Everybody who is reading this story now, most of you in the chat actually should really give yourselves a pat on the back. How early have we been? Listen, I was messing with some of y'all when Doge was like less than a penny, right? I mean, for those who are wondering, there are definitely at least 2 or 3 people in the chat who have made 5 or 6 figures off of Doge in this community. I want to be clear about that, okay? That's how long our community has actually been in this space and into Dogecoin, some of these things. So again, it is one of those things where like, hey, if you still have some from back then, this is great for you because you're talking about saving your bags, and now they're launching an investment arm for it or investment fund. That's incredible, right? But that also goes to show how early a lot of us were, or not even really early, but how late the market and the mainstream market is coming to it. They're just now talking about launching a Dogecoin investment fund. Oh my goodness, people could have bought houses by now if it was allowed to happen years ago. Like, could you imagine this? Like, we had a Dogecoin investment fund in 2018. Like, now we're talking, now like 2017, a Dogecoin investment fund. Now we're talking, but with a Bitcoin at 100K, and now you're like, okay, let's do a Dogecoin investment fund. Shame on you on one hand, grayscale, but bravo on the other. Like, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Okay. Like, they're gonna compete with institutions and banks, which is why I started off with, like, I'm not mad at grayscale. I get it. I'm for it, but do we have to do this? I guess we do. It's time. Hey, throw out the vegetables, people. We don't eat vegetables no more. This is 1994 East Side. No, technically I was on the West. So I was going back and forth between East and West Side, but I was on the West at this time. 94. This is Kool-Aid and sugar for breakfast, baby. That's right. Nice little saucer plate like you a cat, bunch of Kool-Aid, bunch of sugar. That's what we eating for breakfast. All right. And that's literally what breakfast is. Okay. That is what we're doing. There's no more fruits, there's no more veggies, there's no more cereals, no more steak and eggs. There's none of that healthy stuff. Okay. We're not doing Bitcoin no more. And Ethereum can't even hold itself up. It can't even prop itself up. All right. They're not even a veggie. So no more Bitcoin, no more fruits and veggies. We're going straight for the altcoin, the crap coin casino, the meme coin mania, baby. Kool-Aid and sugar for breakfast. This is what I want every day. Oh, yeah. All right. Last but not least, again, altcoin are going crazy today. 21 shares files with SEC for spot Polkadot ETF. I mean, listen, after everything I just said, I have to be real. Not entirely mad at this because Polkadot is trying to add real utility and real technology. So bravo for Polkadot. And hey, make sure you check out Mike, who's had a ton of in-house crypto warrior on the team, all the good stuff. But he has a ton of Polkadot party videos on the channel from when he used to do those weekly shows as well. Those are still on the channel. So just Google, or not Google, but go to the search bar, Polkadot Party, if you're unfamiliar with Polkadot. And he literally just leads you through what Polkadot is and what it's been doing. And I feel like the last time he did a video was like a year or so ago. So they probably have plenty of updates since then, but it's still a great starting point, which is why we have those resources there. Uh, but I'm going to say this where I just ended with the last one. It's not that it's like, again, it's not, it's just a weird feeling. It's just like, even Polkadot. All right, I'll say this. Like, you know what? Maybe Polkadot isn't Kool-Aid and sugar, but it's definitely Sunny D. Okay, it's not orange juice. Polka dot is definitely Sunny D. So, like I said, we're not doing water and juices and fruits and veggies. All right, we're doing Kool-Aid, sugar, and Sunny D to top it all off. All right, like uh, it's slippery. It's not even a slippery slope. Like, this is going to happen. We knew this was going to happen too. All altcoins are coming to market to be derivatives. I said this last year. I said this is what I think the fad is going to be. People, this is the fad right here. Bringing every altcoin, bringing everything we can out of crypto since they can't control it, and bringing it to the real world so they can control it and make, or at least make money off it, make enough money off it where they can manipulate it. Which, by the way, is controlling it. So again, not upset. This is going to happen. It is what it is. But I do feel a certain way only because I know it's like, again, listen, Kool-Aid and sugar and Sunny D is delicious in the mornings, right? I haven't done it since a child because it's ridiculous. Like, my mouth will rot away as well as my body and soul. But hey, at the moment, at the time, I just listen. I'm telling you, I used to have it like a kilo up there, just going crazy on a plate of Kool-Aid and sugar. All right, that was wild for me doing that. Y'all got the gift. All right, there you go. But my point is this: is nothing I would advise people to eat every day. There's nothing I would advise you to eat for breakfast. That's a struggle breakfast in of itself, right? That is struggle as it get. It tastes good, but it's so bad for you. But that is what we're about to do to the world financial market. We're about to say, hey, we got all these altcoins and meme coins, and you're going to just eat them and eat them and eat them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And my thing is this: cool. It's going to taste good. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a lot of energy at first from all the sugar. It's going to be a sugar high at first. And when all of this wears off and this bubble bursts, I don't want nobody blaming Bitcoin or the crypto or no, 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 no. We all as humans chose to eat the sugar and Kool-Aid every day. We're going to clip this shit when the time comes because I guarantee when the bubble bursts, everyone's going to be blaming crypto. It's going to be like, yo, we started doing spot Polkadot ETFs. To put this even more consideration, hold on. Let me pull up something. I'm about to smack this microphone. Y'all know how I get when I get excited. Hold on. So we're back on Coin Market Cap, right? Okay, Coin Market Cap. Let's get to it. Polkadot party. Shout out to Mike for that Polkadot. All right, $7.5 billion market cap. I think I just saw. Yeah, 7.5 billion. So the market cap is not that big. Number 22. They did see their time in the sun. I think they hit top 10 one time before. But by and large, I can't talk for nothing today, man. But by and large, Polkadot at a $7.5 billion valuation, there's no reason for it to have a spot ETF. Like, there's no reason for it. Because again, if we're going there with it, whose number? Let me go back to let me go back here. If we're going there with it, let's go to Cointelegraph. Let's scroll down number 22. If Polkadot gets their oh, woo, we stop it. See, this is my point. All I had to do is go there. Y'all don't even know the real crypto OGs now at this point. Because you are an OG, you know I'm getting scared about what I just saw. If you just saw what I saw, you know I'm scared about. Right under Polkadot, for those who are listening today on the podcast, right under Polkadot is Bitcoin Cash. So, like I said, if Polkadot gets an ETF, you have to give Bitcoin Cash an ETF. And don't tell me we're going to have a 2025, 2026 rerun of Bitcoin Cash being the real Bitcoin all of a sudden. We got ETFs too, just like them. What's the problem? If you give Bitcoin Cash an ETF, you got to give this Ethena USDE an ETF. If you give them one, then Uniswap has to get one. Yeah, Uniswap could get one. Actually, I agree with that. But look at this. Uniswap is number 25. If they get an ETF, we go down to 28. Pepe has to get one too. You get where I'm going with this now? This is how it's going to happen. It's going now, Monero were to get one. Now people are going to find out about privacy coins, which the government definitely doesn't want people to know about. Slippery slope indeed. Like, it is a super slippery slope. If like what was the last story we were just talking about? Dogecoin investment fund that's going to open the door for everything, and then you're talking about a Polkadot spot ETF. I think it will happen eventually. Now's the best time to do it. I'm not mad at them. I get it. I'm going down the meme coin mania route too. All I'm saying is when everyone gets sick and we're just regurgitating everything else, let's not say, well, the market bubble burst because it was something Bitcoin did or something crypto did. It was gonna be like, nah, it was really just off the psychological trading cycle is why the market popped, to be honest. But again, this is following the influx of new crypto ETF filings in the U.S. Asset manager firm 21 Shares has filed to launch a spot Polkadot ETF. And last but not least, what I also want to say is hand clap to 21 Shares. Hand clap to 21 Shares and Grayscale today for sure. But like, for leading the way, because I'm telling you, if they would have tried to do this a year or two ago, this could have been enough for the Biden administration to come after them. This could have been enough for the SEC, IRS, and all these other people just to randomly start coming after them, because this is definitely the antithesis of what the United States markets and governments initially wanted to hear since crypto's been invented for the most part. So hand clap to them. As I sip my soda that I'm sure somebody spit in. All right, I just had to take a sip of water. All right, let's get back to the story. Last but not least, in January 31st, SEC filing 21 Shares stated its intention to list the 21 Shares Polkadot Trust on the CBOE BZX exchange. CBOE still smacking it up with crypto exchange Coinbase acting as a dot custodian. Of course, it comes just 4 years after 21 Shares launched a similar product in Switzerland. In 2021, the asset manager launched the world's first Polkadot ETP on the Six exchange. I do actually remember that. I didn't know it's been that long. That's crazy. The market will decide if there's value for it. I agree with that as well. We just essentially talked about that. But again, to me, there's not even about the value. And it even says here, there's no assurance that DOT will maintain its value in the long or intermediate term. The following said, in the event that the price of DOT declines, the sponsor expects the value of the shares to decline proportionally. But that's not what they care about, because if you're settling in cash, and especially when you hear these big numbers every week, where, excuse me, this amount of money goes to an ETF or this amount of money, I keep telling you, is just BlackRock essentially shifting portfolios. Well, when that same thing happens, they'll be able to have the essence of speed to settle quickly before the price is realized. And that's when the retail market and other people lose their money. But on the back end, they've already settled and made their money. So I get why they're doing it. Another reason to add a derivative, again, not mad. It is what it is. I'm glad they put in there that, hey, anything can happen. The price might not stay the same, blah, 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 which is crazy because it's really just like the lotto again. They're saying that, hey, you could probably walk in and lose and the house is going to win. And everybody's going to say, all right, let's see what happens. So it's fair. I think at least they're being super transparent with it. And again, from a tech point of view, if you're talking about actual ETPs, ETFs, and everything else, Polkadot is not a bad one to go with, right? So again, I don't even think this is for Polkadot. To be fair, like to keep it all the way real with y'all, I think this is the play they making of what I explained. 21 shares is smart. They're putting like, why are they going to invest in something that can lose money, even if they can settle out early? It can make them look bad, right? I think they want to get Polkadot in, and they don't care if it survives. They just want to get Polkadot in, so what I said could happen. So they can literally look at it and say, all right, well, you guys let Polkadot in at this market cap, 7.5 billion at number 22. Look, man, I'm just jumping to 28 with Pepe, and we know the market cap going to blow up, baby. Like that is what's going to happen next. This is the Trojan horse. Mark my words. Polkadot is the Trojan horse for Pepe. Can't wait to see it happen. Other than that, that is a show for today. Let me just go ahead and give a couple quick shout outs to the chat. Thank you for all the support. I see y'all up in there. Jake said, imagine choosing Bitcoin Cash during the fork. LOL 300 first. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I need to do an episode on that. I don't think nobody has. There we go. See, this is the type of like I do need to get more into doing this. I'll try to do one of these videos. You all saw the mining video for the members already. So you know I'm working on some in the back. Maybe I'll do this though, like how they have the stories and the quick narrations and all the sound effects and stuff, those type of little YouTube videos. Maybe I'll do one to like what happened to Bitcoin Cash, like the Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Cash debate finally settled. Now, granted, crypto is forever, Bitcoin is forever, or at least for the next 100 years or so. So maybe Bitcoin Cash could have a ninth, I don't know, an eighth inning comeback or something. But the way it looks, Jake Fever, oh my goodness. For those who don't know what we're talking about, there was a hard for technically, yeah, well, I guess you can call it a hard fork, but everybody didn't fork. There were some forks back in the day. Basically, the Bitcoin code changed, and everybody said when it changed, this is the real Bitcoin. But at the same time, Roger Ver and his cronies was like, no, 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 this thing we just created called Bitcoin Cash is the real Bitcoin. And some people went with him, and some people stayed with Bitcoin where it is now. If you went with Roger Ver, your Bitcoin, as Jake is laughing about, is worth $300 a pop, and if you stay with the regular Bitcoin, is worth $100,000 a pop. Now, doesn't mean which is the real one, right? I'll leave that up to debate to keep it spicy because a lot of people say Ethereum Classic is the real Ethereum, but Ethereum is worth way more than the Classic. So we won't go there, but for sure, for those who chose Bitcoin Cash, wow, crazy. And yes, I already know what Alec is talking about. It's so cold in the D. Yeah, that's what we're going to end it on. Kool-Aid and sugar, baby. That's what we're going with this market. Altcoins and meme coins, Kool-Aid and sugar.